whatever is meant for you from this evening. If there is any part of this presentation that's not for you, as my pastor says, just file it away somewhere else, file it away for later, file it away for someone that you may know it could be a potential for, okay? But take what's speaking to you. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here so that we can go ahead and get this kicked off this evening. I hope you guys are super excited because I am jacked up tonight, okay?
I'm excited.
So let me just go here. You're excited? Well, I'm great. I'm glad you're excited. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So thank you for joining us tonight for Women Who Win. Okay, and so Renee Turner, Senior Vice President Renee Turner, Regional Vice President Stephanie Lampley, and I wanted to get together to talk to you guys about doing some great things in your life. Okay, just like these ladies here. And so, I want to go ahead and kick it off. My name, for those of you that do not know me, and hopefully this thing is advancing because I can't tell. I'm Jennifer McReynolds. I'm a regional vice president and co-CEO with my partner in the Buckhead office, in our Buckhead office. We have been in the company for 19, almost 20 years now. We're part of the African American Leadership Council. The African American Leadership Council is a council that is made up of 150 individuals, partnerships, that mentor other African Americans in our business and show other African Americans how to grow their businesses. So it's a mentorship incubator that really helps to guide us to grow our businesses in a way that doesn't actually show up in corporate America, really, or any other business here in America. I am a graduate of Spelman College, the illustrious Spelman College. And after Spelman, started my career on Wall Street. So if you've ever watched a Wall Street movie where you see the people that are talking at each other, that are, moving their arms around, sometimes cussing, that's what I did. I absolutely loved it. I did that up until the mortgage crash. And then from there, went to work at a mobile technology fund that did some really interesting work in the developing world, and absolutely loved that until I didn't love it, right? My husband and I had prayed for a long time to have another child. It didn't happen in our time frame. It happened in God's time frame. And at the time, I was almost in my 10th year there, and things just changed. It changed in a way that I would not have pictured. And I had a decision to make. And the decision we made was we'd already had a business for, at that point, maybe 16, 17 years. And my awesome partner said, hey, why don't you come work with me? Let's grow our business together, do what you love, and work with our women and spend time with our baby. And so that's what I've been doing. She's 3 years old now. And then, I love working with women because I think women have some very, very unique circumstances that make us phenomenal and awesome that we want to talk about tonight. Okay. And so my portion this evening on Women Who Win is educate, okay? And so educate, the definition is to give someone training in or information on a particular field. And so I know the three ladies, us, the other two women that you're going to hear from tonight, that's one of the things that we've gotten really, really good at is we help to educate and inform the people we meet with, the people we work with on the various material that you're going to hear tonight, right? And so here are some of the synonyms on educate. So providing instruction and lesson and teaching and training, right? Because the only way we get better is by learning and doing. And so I want to start off by talking about self-care. We know that as women, we wear many, many hats. And so self-care is super duper important. And I know that oftentimes the way that self-care shows up for in what we think about is, hey, getting a mani-pedi, maybe some retail therapy, right? Getting a massage, getting it worked out. For some of us, it's working out, right? So there's many forms of self-care. And this is mostly what people talk about, right? What they think about with regards to self-care. But I also want to challenge you to think that self-care can be a little bit more, right? Self-care can be making sure you handle your business, right? Making sure you have an emergency fund, because it's not if, it's when an emergency is going to happen, right? It's making sure you're working on a monthly budget, that you know how much is coming in, how much is going out, and hopefully there's more coming in than is going out. If not, we're going to talk about that later, right? Making sure you're paying off your debts, you guys, planning for retirement, because hopefully at some point we're going to get a chance to sit back and sip a margarita or two, or maybe, drink some apple juice, whatever your flavor is. But all that stuff, and then life insurance, making sure that you protect what you're building with life insurance while you're building it. Okay. So self-care also looks like, let's make sure that we can handle what we need to handle too, right? Because that is taking care of self. All right. And so look, one of the things I love in working with women is that there are just some uniquenesses to us, right? Women's lives are just different from men. There are things that impact women that impact us in ways that don't impact men. There's things that they just don't have to think about, right? We have less time in the workforce, because, hey, at some point we've got to think about, do we want to have kids? And if we have kids, do we want to take some time off, right? So we end up spending cumulatively less time in the workforce. There's income inequality. When you spend time outside of the workforce, it impacts your income, right? It impacts whether you get raises and promotions. There's also a thing called the wage gap. We're not going to cover that tonight, but that very much impacts us, right? Men don't have to deal with that. What about divorce, right? Or becoming a single parent, or being a single parent on purpose, right? Those are things that oftentimes fall to women to have to navigate. What about caring for aging parents? So not just having children and being out of the workforce when we have kids, but what about being responsible for the people who brought you here, right? Or maybe it's just that we're living longer because medical technology has gotten better and better, right? So thinking about all these areas and how they impact our lives is also part of this whole concept of self-care. So let's talk about some of the statistics of things that are affecting Americans today, right? So 42% of Americans will retire broke. I didn't say that, but that was a survey that Go Banking Rates did in last year. 2/3 of Americans have no consistent savings plans or don't have a savings plan at all, right? 40% of adults say they won't be able to cover a $400 unexpected expense with cash because they just don't have access to it, right? And you guys, I talked about this need for an emergency fund. It's not if, it's when, right? So 40% of Americans have no way to put their hands on $400 if an emergency comes up. And then the average credit card debt for people between the ages of 35 and 55 is $9,000. And so what happens is women often take on more college debt. Why? Because women actually, especially in the African American and Latino communities, we're going to school and graduating at higher rates than our male counterparts, right? And so that often means that our parents didn't prepare and have a college fund for the most part for us. So we're graduating with more debt. And then it's taking us a lot longer to pay off, right? Let's not talk about majors, because there is a thing with majors and with women of color where we end up taking on majors that pay us less. So now we have this huge student loan debt, and then jobs that don't pay us very much. So we end up paying a lot more than what really our jobs are bringing in. And then the gender pay gap. And so, especially for women of color, affects us even more. So you guys, let's talk about, the thought about the financial house. And so this is the way we think about things, right? If you build your financial house right the first time, you won't have to build it over again and again, right? And so if you think about building a house, for those of you that maybe have gone through that, or if you just conceptually think about what it takes to build a house, it starts at the foundation, right? You can't start with the roof, because if your foundation is not solid, then everything else falls apart, right? And so for us, the foundation is protecting your income. So I talked about this life insurance, that while we're working on taking care of everything else, we need to make sure that we are covered with life insurance, so that in the process of growing our wealth and growing our retirement nest egg and making sure that we're paying off our debts, that our kids can go to college, that we're saving for them, that nothing comes by that can destroy that foundation, right? And so here, that foundation starts with protecting your income with life insurance. And then we talk about creating a budget and having, an emergency fund and a will to make sure that your stuff doesn't have to go through probate if something were to happen. Okay, so, and then you guys can see that, paying off your debt, the next level, and then planning for retirement, college savings, and your other goals and dreams. That's the order that we build on our financial house. And so, what role does financial literacy play in retirement planning, especially for women? Well, you have to educate yourself. You have to learn the language. You have to be on the lookout for every source of income you're counting on in retirement. And you have to be sure that the accounts or insurance will actually be there for you, right? So as women, we got to be in charge of that, whether we're married or not, whether we have somebody in our lives that helps us with that part. We need to make sure that we are responsible for that part of our lives. And so look, what we know is that every woman, for sure, and every family definitely needs these three accounts, right? You need to have an emergency fund. And an emergency fund is money that I'll need to get access to tomorrow or maybe the next day, right? Something that you can put your hands on when something just pops up. A short-term account or a lifestyle account. And that, when you think about that, that's maybe, a nice down payment for a car or a sizable down payment for a house, or maybe you want to start a business or build, buy a franchise or something. That's a short-term account. And then your long-term accounts, right? That's your retirement. That's your, 20, 30 years down the road, maybe it's 15, 20 years for your kids' college. But those are your long-term accounts. And every person and every woman, especially here tonight, needs to have these three accounts, okay? So let's talk about some of the things that we help to educate the women that we talk to about, right? One of the things is called the Rule of 72. Now, I can't see any of you right now, but if I could see you, I would ask you, one, if you knew what the Rule of 72 is, and if you've ever heard, if not, have you ever heard of it? And at what point in your life did you learn it, right? Because the Rule of 72 really simply just says that it determines at what point your money will double by dividing the interest rate that you're getting on your money, whatever money that is, into 72. That tells you approximately, how long it'll take your money to double. So if you have, let's say, a savings account at Wells Fargo is paying you 3%, which it's not, but let's say it is, you have $10,000. You divide 72 by 3, says that $10,000 will become $20,000 in 24 years. So in a 48-year period, it gets to double twice. How many more doubling periods, how many more periods of 24 years do you have in your life to wait for that money to double? At 6%, say you do a little bit better and you have an account that's paying you 6%, maybe, it's a high yield CD, or maybe you have, a higher yield bond and you're getting 6%. That same $10,000 does a little bit better and doubles every 12 years. So in that 48-year period, you've doubled what, 6 times? And so at 12%, what we do is we show people how to circumvent traditional means of savings, which is through the bank, through a credit union, excuse me, where you get lower rates of interest. And we teach people about investing in the markets so that you can get 10, 11, 12% or better on your money, because the higher the interest rate, the higher the return on your money, the quicker it's going to double, right? So that $10,000 at 12% interest doubles every 6 years. So in that 48-year period, let me ask you, would you rather have $40,000 or $2.5 million? And I got to imagine you guys are yelling $2.5 million, right? And that is because compound interest, Albert Einstein said compound interest is the most powerful force in the universe. And so interest works on top of interest. Whether you know it or not, it's working for you or against you. So it's not just about the habit of saving, which you better have a habit of saving, but it's also about the return that you're getting on your money. And unfortunately, the women that Renee, Stephanie, and I run across oftentimes are saving at the bank, they're saving in a credit union, and they're saving somewhere with an institution that doesn't have an incentive to teach you how to do better and how to make more money on your money. But that's what we man, that's what we get passionate about. Okay. So let me ask you guys, excuse me. Um, we get asked this question all the time. I know I get asked this question all the time, is that, hey, I have an old 401k or 403b. I have an old retirement plan from a job 2 or 3 jobs ago, right? What do I do with that? And so my answer is going to be to you is that you need to roll it over into an IRA that you control, right? And so look, you get a chance to roll over your money when you leave a job. Either you've been laid off, maybe you quit, maybe you retired, right? Some kind of separation of service. And look, it could be any type of retirement, qualified retirement plan through a job. And so I know we have some teachers on here. So your TRS could be your 401k, your 403b, a 457, whatever. It could even be a pension. And so we're going to tell you that you should roll it over into your own IRA. Look, we're going to make sure that we preserve the taxes, right? So we look out for and we're aware of whatever taxes could be coming your way. There are no penalties for rolling it over at all into an IRA. So there's nothing that you get dinged on there. And listen, you actually, if you were to keep it at your jobs, wherever your job is, and you retire, you actually can't start taking distributions on that. You actually have to roll it over into your own IRA in order to start taking any benefits out of that. Okay. So you can't actually retire and say, I'm going to take distributions out of a 401k. And listen, you have way more options in your own IRA than you do on a workplace plan. Let me tell you something. I was in charge of our workplace plan when at my last employer. I was on the investment committee. I got to choose. And the biggest thing between the CEO, the HR person, and me was, what is the lowest cost plan you can get for what we can afford to pay for our employees? And so I guarantee you that whatever job you're at, HR and whoever heads the company, they are looking for whatever the cheapest plan is, which usually translates into what investment options you can have. And so when you roll it over to someone like us, we have a plethora of options that we can look at because we're not bound to any one company or any one provider. So that means good news for you guys, because we can look at any possibility, right? So you want more options and you want control, okay? And so this allows you, when you roll it over, to actually receive professional advice on your money. And you want that because on your workplace plan, you're not going to get that, right? Your HR person isn't a specialist, or maybe they'll give you the telephone, phone bank for you to talk to someone who maybe just got trained yesterday. And so having control of your money is important. And so look, you wouldn't leave your purse, your kids' pictures, or anything valuable at your job, at your old job, if you were no longer there. Why leave your money there, right? So if you think about it that way, it should make sense. I'm not going to leave my valuables. I'm not going to leave a picture of Zuri, right? And so you should take your money with you. Your money should go when you go so that you have control and you have more options. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. Let's talk about the importance of life insurance. We kind of hit on that earlier. But look, it takes time to grow your investments. We want to work because we hope you live for a long, long time. And we want to grow your investments. We want to take care of that part. We want to make sure that you pay off your debt, because when you pay off your debt, that means you have more money to invest in yourself, right? And that's important. But you got to protect that process with your life insurance, right? With the income protection, especially if you have people counting on you. Okay. That's super duper important, because if you don't do that and any interruption comes in, then that college plan that you had for your child goes away. You're not going to be able to contribute to your retirement in any meaningful way, if at all. And so you want to make sure that while you've got these big plans, that you can still execute on them and that it's bulletproof. Okay. And that's the importance of life insurance. And so I know you guys have seen this, especially if you're on social media, is that you see GoFundMe all the time, and you see it for people that have passed away. And we'll say, look, GoFundMe is not life insurance. GoFundMe is, hey, let me help Susie be able to make up the difference in college, or Johnny has a trip to Spain and we want to send him off, right? GoFundMe was not intended to take care of the planning for someone's life. because someone else didn't think about that. Okay. So your legacy is your responsibility. And what I submit to you is, what do you want that legacy to be? Do you want it to be that you just left debt and chaos and grief with no end? Or do you want it to be that, oh my God, my mom, my dad, my auntie is no longer here, but they did what they were supposed to do while they were building their legacy. They also made sure that they protected it, and they thought about everything, and they protected it with life insurance, right? And so we know that people insure their homes, they insure their cars, cell phones, they insure everything. And so when asked what's the most important thing in their life, people say their family. And yet oftentimes they're uninsured. So protecting your family shouldn't be an option. It should be a total priority. And so what we know is that in life, there are two major risks. One is dying too soon or living too long, right? So if you die too soon, the insurance is there to protect that building piece, right? If you live too long, we want to make sure you have enough savings, right? Savings and retirement accumulation. And so really the goal is to protect yourself and your family in the event of either, and that we need to plan for both, but you choose which one you want, right? It's up to you. And so hopefully you're choosing both because you're choosing you, okay? And lastly, I just want to talk about, look, we've got to prepare in all areas. This is super duper important. So it's yes, we got to think about the emergency fund. We got to think about retirement. We got to pay off some debts. We got to make sure everything is taken care of with life insurance in case anything comes to shake that up. But you also need to prepare with a last will and testament, right? Because if something happens to you, you don't want all that planning that you did to be in vain, and that your family has to struggle and be stuck in the court probate process for 6 months to a year and a half. I have a client that's been in the probate process for a year and a half now because we didn't take care of this part of handling who's going to be the executor of the estate and take care of all of that. So making sure we're prepared in all areas is majorly important. And so listen, what we know is this, is that most people, they don't fail, they don't plan to fail. It's just that they fail to plan, right? And so we know that traditional financial institutions, they sell you products, and we often operate with a tick the box mentality. Oh yeah, well, they told me that by the time I graduate from college, I should have a credit card. Check. That the next thing I need to do is I need to buy a house. Check. Right. That I need to invest in my 401k. Check. I've got a bank account. Check. Right. So we've adopted this tick the box mentality, and we think we're okay. And the problem is that we're going off in different directions, and we don't know how our total and complete financial picture actually can work together. We don't even know where we're going with all of this stuff because we don't have a plan. And so that's what we do here, right? The solution that we work with families on is called a financial needs analysis. It's a customized plan, complementary, that helps you achieve your goals and dreams, right? We call it a financial GPS because it helps you take all the stuff that you have and put it together to get you to those milestones in your life that you want to achieve, right? And so you got to make sure that, hey, if you actually use your GPS to get around, if you live in Atlanta, anywhere in Atlanta or anywhere in the country that you are, and that's important to you so you don't get lost, then you apply the same thing, the same logic to your financial life. Having a financial GPS is crucial to you knowing whether you're going to have enough money to retire, or how much you're going to need, how much you're going to need for college, and how do you pay off all those debts so you can allocate that money to some other things that are important in your life, okay? And so you guys, we are Primerica. We're the largest independent financial services marketing organization in North America. We have over 130,000 licensed representatives. We are a publicly traded company, and we're listed on the New York Stock Exchange as the ticker symbol PRI. We're not a new company. We've been around for a good bit of time, since 1977. And we've actually insured on the life insurance side over 5 million clients, and we have over 2.5 million investment clients, okay? So what we do is great. And these are some of the companies that we're affiliated with, right? And so I know you guys have heard of some of these companies, right? On the life insurance side, on the life insurance side, there's Primerica, but we work with small business owners as well as individuals. So we do 401k plans, we do annuities, some of those companies you've heard of, AIG. We do financial advisory and retail mutual fund investing. So whether you have $25 a month to invest as a college student or a $25 million lump sum, we can take care of you, right? And everything in between, we're able to help you invest your money with a ton of options. And so we also offer, not yet in here, Georgia, but the mortgages. So we do mortgages as well in parts of the country. We have auto and home loan solutions and a smart home automation that we handle as well as our Primerica Legal Protection Program. And so here are some of the companies that we're affiliated with. And so with that, you guys, I thank you so much for hearing the educate piece. And I want to turn it over now to my cohort, my awesome friend in the company, Regional Vice President Stephanie Lampley. So let me stop sharing here. Give me 1 second. All right, turning it over to you, Steph.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you.
Hey, beautiful people. So
Hi.
Jennifer did all the hard work. She's explaining all these technical things, all this financial literacy, and it may seem a little overwhelming, but what I want you guys to know is that we will tell you the story until you get it. Right? That's the thing I love about our company is that wherever you are, whatever your level of comfort or how educated you are in finances, it doesn't matter because we're going to work with you every step of the way to make sure you get what you need to feel like me and my family is on the road to becoming debt-free and financially independent. We're going to have a great life and I'm going to leave a legacy for the people that I love. So I want to share my screen and jump into my presentation. And then Renee, just make sure you can see I'm in slideshow.
Okay, we can see your screen.
Awesome. All right. And so I'm so excited, guys. So my name is Stephanie Lampley, and I'm a regional vice president. I lead the incredible organization we're called the Team Pride Base Shop. And my former career was a corporate trainer at a wealth management company in Florida, which is where I'm from. But I just celebrated earlier this year, my 20th year as a regional vice president, guys, as a full-time entrepreneur, no boss, no job, no W-2, right? But guys, what I want you to know is the only thing I knew about money when I got started here was I didn't have any. So just breathe a little sigh of relief, guys, because I knew nothing about money except I didn't have any. And I was like, the worst thing that'll happen is I'm going to learn how to better manage my own personal finances. But I found an incredible career where I can mentor clients, I can mentor, new business partners, and we can grow together. And then I'm a part of the Financial Independence Council, and that's a group of individuals with our company that took when you take your income over 6 figures, you get inducted into the council. Jennifer told you guys that she and Leonard are part of the African American Leadership Council. Their income's over $200,000. I'm fighting to get that done, you guys, by February of next year. So when you're sending up some prayers for me, you pray that God's gonna help me hit that next milestone. And I'm a part of the incredible Women in Primerica Advisory Group. That's one of my most proud distinctions because it's a very intimate group of women leaders in our company that get inducted into the advisory group. So a little bit about me. And so my part of the presentation is empower. And the definition of empower, guys, it's a verb. It says make someone stronger and more confident, especially in controlling their life and claiming their rights, right? Emancipate, unfetter, unshackle, unchained, set free, give freedom to. Man, those are some powerful, awesome words, right? So we're going to talk about, well, Stephanie, I got the education, so now I want to be empowered. Well, this is what we know, guys. It's everyone that's on our presentation today. I think you should have a goal to become a millionaire in your lifetime. And so there's some things you have to do to make sure that can happen. So first of all, we have to change our mentality and we have to self-improve. Man, we got to read books, right? We have have to listen to Audible. We have to get around other people that are going to the next level so that we can position ourselves to just make better decisions, right? You know, become an investor and not just a saver, right? To not spend every time we have a little bit of extra money or that free check, right? Because I have to change my mentality so that I can take my family to the next level. Man, we have to avoid debt that doesn't pay us, right? And so when you do have debt, you know, we have a strategy to show you how to systematically get out of debt, right? Systematically make it happen. And that's one of the things that we help families do at no charge, giving you that plan. You have to learn how to make your money work harder for you, and you have to learn how to invest. And so the reason I joined Primerica, because the company that I work with in Florida, I service brokers, and I looked at $1 million accounts every day, and none of the clients looked like me. And most of us, or probably all of us on this webinar tonight, and none of my brokers were African-American, minorities, or women. And so I was like, man, this is so amazing. How can I teach this to the people that I grew up with, that I see every day, right? In St. Petersburg, Florida, which is where I grew up. And you guys, if I had gotten my licenses with the company that I work with, I would move up the corporate ladder, because I knew I was going to keep moving up. I was like, I'm not going to just be in a cube for my whole career. My first day in that cube, I knew I wasn't going to be there long. I'm like, what's the next place I can go? And I became a corporate trainer. They developed that position for me. So I know I could have moved up the corporate ladder, and I would have gotten my investment licenses with that company, but it would have only helped me move up internally. I wouldn't have been able to help anybody that I personally knew, because you needed at least $100,000 to even get a conversation with someone with my company. So when I joined Primerica and I was told you could help someone with as little as $25 a month, right, up to $25 million, I was like, I'm here, I'm in. First of all, I don't have any money, so I want some. I want to make sure I'm doing the right things. I want to bless and encourage a lot of other people and help them do the same things, right? So you got to make your money work harder for you. And then guys, we have to set deadlines, right? Set goals with deadlines. And so I think a great marker is every 90 days, you need to have some things that you want to accomplish, right? And so if you focus on those things for 90 days, at the end of the 90th day, then you can do a really good assessment. You know, what did I do well? What do I need to work on? What do I need to totally eliminate so the next 90 days can be better? And you can just grow yourself in every area every 90 days if you make it a goal. Guys, we got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? We have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And that requires that you have someone in your life, a mentor or a coach. Their job is to push you and to hold you accountable, because they know what's inside of you that you don't even know is inside of you. I have two of my mentors and coaches on with me tonight. I have my trainer, right? My fitness trainer on with me. She pushes me, she encourages me, and I'm just going to work hard and follow her direction, because I want to get healthy and I want to get strong. And you guys, I have my business mentor on with me tonight, right? I want to be encouraged and led by people that can take me further than I can take myself. To become wealthy, you have to be willing to submit yourself to someone's coaching and mentorship. And then guys, I'm going to be real with you. You have to add licenses and certifications, because every time you add another license or certification to under your belt, you now have added value to others' lives. That means you're going to make more money. Licenses and certifications simply mean more money. Doctors get paid more because what? They went to medical school, right? They had to pass their exams to become a doctor, right? Anytime you have someone, attorneys, right? Anyone that has licenses and certifications, they're going to make more money than the average person, because they bring value, and value means money. And then guys, you got to create multiple streams of income. And then what you have to decide is, I don't want to just get all my money from one place, and then I'm going to become a pro in that area of I want to become an expert in whatever I've chosen to do, because if I become an expert in that area, then I'm going to be able to make even more money. So guys, this is what we know. Multiple streams of income is no longer a luxury. It's a necessity. We've been in a global pandemic since truly, well, we was here before we knew about it, right? We're real with it. But we were aware of it in March. And so we've been in the house now, I think 8 months, guys. Everyone knows someone that's lost their job, or maybe had their hours cut, right? You know, they're dependent on, you know, that those checks coming in from the government, those additional checks that they're sending out. And so guys, everyone needs to know, man, I don't want to live under the gun. I want to make sure that my family is going to always be taken care of. I'm going to have to find a way to make some more money. What we believe, guys, is the way you make your additional money, it should never be with another boss, right? We say have a plan B, but the plan B should be a business, right? So your 9 to 5 pays your bills, your food, your clothing, your shelter. It allows you to have the life that you have right now, right? But to go to the next level, it's going to require for us to do some stuff from 10 to 12. I'm sorry, from 6 to 12. So when I leave my job, get home, feed the family, do some homework, or well, actually, guys, a lot of people are teachers, so you know what you have to do. But once you get everything settled, what's my business? Right? Because that's what's going to allow me to build generational wealth for my family, where we're never going to have to think about money ever again. And if you have something like that pushing you, you're going to be passionate about it. You're going to be excited about it, and you're going to work to get better and better at it. So in our business, we have 3 paths. First of all, we have center of influence or silent partner, and that's someone who's really an advocate. And they know a lot of people, but they just don't have a lot of time. And so they introduce us to individuals basically through a 3-way call, because folks don't answer strange numbers, right? They make an introduction, and then we do the hard work. We do the heavy lifting. We do the virtual Zoom appointment. That center of influence, or that advocate, we call them a silent partner. What's the benefits of them being in business with us, right? They get professional licenses. They can earn passive and residual income, because really all they have to do once they're licensed and trained, right? They don't even get trained, is they 3-way in, introduce us to people, they step out of the picture, we do the work, they can go on the business and get some paychecks coming in. And now they have a legitimate business. They have some now additional tax deductions, legitimate real tax deductions, right? With receipts and all those kind of things. Secondly, the second path is part-time or second career. That's why I started. I didn't think I could be a full-time entrepreneur, because my natural personality is I'm more introverted. I'm not necessarily shy, but I'm from a big family, so I didn't have to talk to a lot of strangers. And so I didn't think I could do this business, because you have to learn how to talk to people that you don't know. But I was passionate about learning the business, first of all, for me, and then helping other people get educated, and then implementing the plan. So part-time second career is someone that says, look, I desire additional streams of income to my current business plan or my current career. And the benefits of that, guys, once again, those professional licenses. Remember, licenses and certifications mean you bring value. And every time you bring value, you're going to get paid more money, right? You can work from home. We've built an incredible business. We literally turned on a dime once the global pandemic, happened. Our vice presidents, we basically closed our offices, and everyone works from home virtually, doing our appointments via Zoom. And so we've built our businesses now where you can do everything from home, right? And work from home. You can build some great residual income, and some upfront income, and you get those tax deductions. And then, guys, we have the folks who are full-time brokers. I mean, those are the big dreamers. They desire freedom, unlimited income, and ownership. So even though I'm introverted, I always wanted to be free, right? And so I didn't know I could do this business, but I knew I had a desire from my first day in corporate America that I wasn't supposed to be in a cube for the rest of my life, right? And so this business, I was mentored and developed to become a full-time broker, and I run an agency, right? So those are the individuals that say, look, I don't want anyone telling me what time to wake up, when I can take lunch, when I can have vacation, if I can take my parents to the doctor, if I can go to my kids' Valentine's Day party. I don't want anyone controlling my time. And I want to have something that I can own and give back to leave for my family. What are the benefits of being a full-time broker? Professional licenses, we get monthly bonuses in all the different areas where we provide services. We build an agency of licensed professionals, and when they're successful, then we also compensated because we showed them how to build successful businesses. And ultimately, you can have ownership. And when you have ownership in our business, guys, your income is continually paid to your family, even when you're no longer alive. So you can build a business that continues to pay your family $25 or $35 or $40,000 a year because you came here and went to work and you built something with ownership. And so Leonard and Jennifer and I, and of course, Tori and Natasha Hunter, who are also vice presidents that do this webinar with us, we're all focused on becoming full owners in 2021. We just celebrated one of our cohorts, one of our business partners last night. He and his wife just earned full ownership for their family business, themselves and their 3 daughters. And so the remaining other RVPs, us 3 plus 2 others, man, we're fighting hard to make sure we get full ownership in 2021. So Stephanie, what does all that mean? How does the money look, right? Let's talk about what do you really do? How does the money work, right? So guys, remember Jennifer told you about building that financial house. So in that house, let's say we help that family get some life insurance. So we covered mom and dad, covered the kids, right? We helped them put some money in an IRA and they're going to contribute $250 a month. They rolled over $20,000, got them, they got some protection in place, $285 each, right? They probably need a little bit more than that, but they didn't have any. So something is better than nothing, right? And then we're helping them invest the money. So we're helping them build that financial house. So just showing you what we get paid on our first license, which is the insurance license. So if you were a silent partner with us and we went out and saw a family and we did an app that's about, I think that's about a $70 a month life app, okay? And so that rep, if they were the silent partner, they didn't do any of the work, they would make half of that $221 for basically connecting us via a 3-way call to the client, and we did all the hard work. $110, guys, for a 3-way call, sign me up. Right? If you're really busy, but couldn't you use an extra $110 a week or $110 a couple times a week? You do that 4 times a week, 4 introductions into quality couples or quality stable single parents or stable adults, right? That's an extra what? Almost $500 almost from just being a silent partner with us. But if you were an entry-level position called district leader and you did that application in about an hour, that's $442 helping that family get their life insurance in place. So if you earn $400 every time you help the family like James and Tanya, how many of those families would you want to help every month? Let's say you helped 1 a week. Guys, that is around $1,600 part-time, helping 1 family a week get protection in the area of insurance. We're going to add on the investments. That's even more money, right? And you did it all from home, right from your laptop. Now, if you're a broker like Jennifer and Leonard, like myself, like Renee and Mel Turner, like Tori and Natasha Hunter. So as a broker, if you earn $500 every time someone on your team helps somebody, how many families, right, would you want your team to help? Can we say a lot? So I teach someone how to go make $400 and the company pays me $500. Sign me up, right? You guys, the only thing I knew about money when I joined this business was I didn't have any, but I was like, teach me, Renee, how to make that happen. Now, the first thing I had to get good at was developing my own personal clients. And I've spent the rest of my career developing other people to do what I do. That's the power of our business, guys. If you had a district on your team, you're a vice president, they went and helped 4 families in a month, and you're still helping your personal clients as well. Guys, that's an extra $2,000 you earned because you trained and developed someone to go help James and Tanya. That's what a business is about, guys, where I don't have to do all the work to get the paychecks coming in. And so what we know is you got to get licensed to get paid. So to join our business is $124. I think it's the best investment a person could ever make in themselves, right? Primerica is going to invest on your behalf $1,200 to get you 2 professional licenses, your insurance license and your investment license, your mutual fund license. We're going to make sure that you have everything you need from the classroom training, right? The online training, making sure you know how to get the fingerprints done, reimburse you when you pass your test. You're going to have 2 professional licenses that belong to you, right? You're going to study and work from home, and you're going to have a mentor and access to weekly training. Remember, we talked about the keys to being wealthy is you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. You need a mentor and a coach. The most valuable thing that happens when a person joins our business, yeah, you're going to get some great licenses, but if you don't have a coach and a mentor that can teach you how to make those licenses pay you, right, you may not be as successful. The power of having a 6-figure earner teaching you this business, mentoring you, training you, developing you. Guys, that's priceless. So $124 one time to join our business, and then just $25 a month so that you continue to be able to have access to our online training, right? Through your laptop, your tablet, or your cell phone. And so guys, this is what I want you to know, is that we, the Millionaire Movement hierarchy and folks that are in our business, we're the stimulus package for our people. See, folks are still sitting around waiting for the Congress to get back together to vote on a check getting sent out, right? But if a person joins our business, we can show them how to get licensed, earn bonus money while they're going through the field training process. And they don't have to just get a one-time stimulus check, Jennifer and Renee and Leonard and Tori and Natasha. They can get stimulus checks every 30 days, right? 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. Guys, I love my business because I can help someone just like me who knew nothing about money come here and get these licenses, learn our system, and then learn how to present the information like Jennifer shared with families and make some incredible part-time money and position themselves to change their life forever and their family's life forever. And so what I want you to know is, man, you got this. See, what I know as women, we are tough, right? We handle a lot of things, right? We can cook dinner, we're on the phone, you're helping with homework, you're moving the laundry, right? You're holding the baby. You can do all of it, right? I want you to know you got this, ladies. See, what we know is women need to be financially confident. We have to know that we can handle any financial situation that comes our way. And we can't afford to live feeling guilty about the past. See, what I want you to know is all of us have past mistakes, and we have to start using our past mistakes as a book. Don't use it as a hammer. It's a book. I learned a lot. It's going to take me to the next level. And guys, we have to move forward with confidence and know that we can make great decisions that's going to change our families' lives for generations to come. And so guys, I am so excited because now I'm bringing up to close out now my mentor and my coach and my older sister, the person that brought me in this business, taught me everything I know. Remember, I didn't know anything about money, and she's going to take it away and tell you guys how you can take your life to the next level and excel. So we're going to turn it over to the incredible Renee Lampley Turner.
Wow.
Let's go.
Jennifer and Stephanie, you guys were so phenomenal, just helping people understand the education part and understanding the empowerment part. So guys, I'm going to wrap up talking about excel, having excellence in every area of your life. So let me share my screen and we'll dive into that piece. In 1 second, I can already see I'm having a little technical situation here. All righty. Here we go. Can everybody see my screen?
Just a minute.
Yes.
Put it in slideshow, we'll see it. Yep.
All right, awesome. And so guys, my name is Renee Turner, and I am so excited to be the Senior Vice President and the head coach of the Millionaire Movement team. 2 incredible vice presidents. We have more, but you've been introduced to 2 great ones tonight. A little bit about me, and then I'll tell you a little bit more about me at the end of my part. And guys, don't worry, as the preacher would say, I'm not gonna keep y'all long, right? But hopefully you're excited about some things you learned about money, some things you got reminded about money, and then some things you were reminded about in terms of, the fact that you deserve to have enough income coming in to have the life that you want to live. So Stephanie and I are sisters. I have 3 older brothers. I'm the oldest girl, and then Stephanie, and then a bunch of other sisters came after her. There's 9 of us. But I was always taught growing up that the key to success in America is to go to school, study hard, get good grades so you can get a good job, right? So I left our home in St. Petersburg, moved to Atlanta, attended Georgia Tech. That's where I met my husband, and I got an industrial engineering degree. I was very active as a student in Georgia Tech, and as an alum of Georgia Tech, I was really privileged to serve on Georgia Tech's Board of Trustees here in Primerica. Stephanie already mentioned the Women in Primerica organization. It's all about empowering women to be as successful as they choose to be. I'm on the board of directors and the African American Leadership Council, made up of African Americans making from $200,000 a year, that's the minimum you can earn to be on the council, to over $2.5 million a year. I serve on that executive board. Guys, I was really blessed the last year in 2019 to be featured in USA Today newspaper in an article where they were discussing how middle income people need financial help, financial advice. And I'm also a contributing author of a book called True Wealth Starts in the Mind. So let's talk about excel. Man, when you say that word, don't you just feel powerful? Doesn't it put a smile on your face? So what's the definition? To be superior or to surpass in accomplishments or achievement. It means to eclipse, exceed, outdo, outshine, surpass, transcend. Those are all such phenomenal words. And guys, those are words that I want you to apply to your life.
Renee.
You deserve to have an excellent life, not average and ordinary, not mediocre, not just getting by. You deserve to have an excellent life. I know you guys are muted, but man, say to yourself, I deserve to have an excellent life, right? So educate and empower to excel. So I'm going to talk about the merger then. We want to merge that financial education, that empowerment, the idea that you don't just have to be dependent on the income you have now, the job you have now, and by merging those two pieces, you can have a life of excellence, right?
Renee, 1 second. Renee, you're a little muted, a little muffled. So
Okay.
maybe come a little closer.
All right, can you hear me better now?
Say a little bit more.
Can you hear me
That's
better
perfect.
now?
Yes, you're
Okay.
perfect now. Yes.
All right. All right. And so, guys, it starts with being intentional. Richie Norton said, intentional living is the art of making our own choices before others' choices make us. Guys, life is all about choices. And either you're going to choose the life that you're going to live, or somebody else is going to make those choices for you. So you have to be intentional about the life you want. It is your life, right? God created you. God gave you, you're fearfully and wonderfully made. God has a great, destiny for you, but you have to be intentional about chasing after the life that you desire, right? And you choosing, not living a life by accident, living life just saying, well, I'm going to wait and see what happens, but being intentional about what you want to have happen in your life and then making it happen. So what are some steps to intentional living? Well, you have to realize that your life is made up of choices. If you don't make a choice, you've actually made a choice. If you don't make a decision, you actually made a decision. There's no such thing as going through life without making choices and making decisions, right? If you're not choosing and deciding for yourself, then somebody else in your life is choosing and deciding for you. So you have to come to that realization that powerful you are. You have to be ready to take control of that life and start making your own choices. You have to examine yourself. And guys, that means looking at your beautiful face in the mirror and being honest with yourself, right? You have strengths and you have opportunities for growth, right? So really acknowledge, what are my strengths? What am I great at, right? And then what are my opportunities for growth? The areas in my life where I need to get better. You can't fix what you don't face, right? So you have to be self-reflective, examine yourself. And Stephanie talked about everybody makes mistakes. Nobody gets through this life without making mistakes. But you guys, you know what? It's as long as you learn, you never lose, right? As long as you don't lose the lesson. But make that self-examination if you want to have intentional living. And then decide to live your life. That doesn't mean that you're being selfish. That doesn't mean that you don't, love and prioritize your family, whatever your family consists of. It might be a spouse or a significant other. It may be children. It may be your parents, your siblings, whoever that is, right? Yes, you want to be selfless and you want to be generous, but you cannot give away yourself in order to make other people happy. So you got to decide to live your life. And if you become the best person you can be, you become the person that God intended you to be, the person that God created you to be. Everybody in your life that you love, they're going to benefit from that, right? So when you make that decision to live your best life, that's not a selfish decision, that is a selfless decision. Then you have to define a purpose, right? Have a purpose-driven life. What are your core values? What's important to you? You know, and I think if you're a praying person, you need to pray for God to show you your purpose in life. I think God puts everybody here on purpose and for a purpose, right? So if you don't know yet, pray, and I promise you, God will show you the purpose that you are the purpose that He put you here on earth for, the purpose you're here for, and then you have to make a decision to put definition on that purpose and walk into that purpose confidently and boldly. And then you got to get really practical and set goals. Goals have to be specific. They need to be attainable, right? They need to have some realistic parts of it, you know, right? So there's some things that you're not gonna be, you know, if you don't sing well, you're probably not gonna be a famous singer or a famous actor. So set goals that are attainable and achievable for you, but goals also have to have a timeline attached to them. Not, I'm gonna get in shape one day, I'm gonna get my finances in order one day, you know, I'm gonna start a business one day. No, set smart goals, specific, you know, goals that are attainable and that have timelines attached to them. And then you got to stay focused. Life is full of distractions. You know, there are good things in your life that can still be distractions, right? And so it's incumbent upon you to stay focused, because whatever you think about with purpose and focus is what will come about in your life, right? Thoughts are things. And so you have to decide, man, I'm going to keep my eyes on the prize, whatever the prize is for you, and I'm going to stay focused. I'm going to be steadfast. I'm not going to get distracted, looking to the right and to the left, right? Distractions are going to come, but you can decide, man, am I going to avert my attention to that distraction, or am I going to deal with that distraction and stay focused on my goal, stay focused on my purpose, and then always keep a teachable spirit, right? Be humble, be teachable. You can always learn from others, right? So I think, like Stephanie said, you have to have coaches. You know, you have to have, you know, personal mentors and coaches in your life in terms of your spiritual life and how to be a better, you know, a better mom or a better wife or a better, you know, daughter or friend or sister or whatever the case may be. But the two areas that we're talking about tonight, you need to have a money mentor and a money coach, and you need to have a business mentor and a business coach, right? One of the things I love best about what I do is my ability to coach and mentor people, my clients. I become their money coach, right? And for my team, I become their business coach, right? So always be willing to learn from others, guys. And so if you take those steps in your red bottoms, right, then you're living an intentional life, and you can live the life that you've always dreamed of. And then, guys, I would be neglectful if I didn't tell you it's all based upon a foundation of belief, right? You have to believe in yourself. It doesn't matter how much somebody else believes in you. If you don't believe in yourself, then you're never going to reach your full potential. The only person that's with you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week is you, right? So you have to believe in yourself. So many of us, man, we believe in God, we believe in our kids, we believe in all these other areas and all these other people in our life, but then we look in the mirror and we don't believe in ourselves, right? Guys, if you believe in yourself, anything is possible. And so you have to identify whatever areas you have in your life where you don't believe in yourself, and then you have to be intentional and focused about replacing your limiting beliefs. I can't do that, I'm not good at that, right? With empowering beliefs. I can do it, right? I can learn to do it, right? I'm powerful, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Guys, belief. And that's not something you do one time and you got it done. You have to work on that every single day. Every day, you're going to have a reason to doubt yourself. So every day, you're going to have to make a decision to believe in yourself, right? And then, man, your future is unlimited. So here's my question for you. What is your dream? Not somebody else's dream, not your parents' dream for you, not your spouse's or significant other's dream for you. What is your dream for you? I hope you're still dreaming. If you're still living, you better be dreaming. And guess what, guys? Dreams are free. It doesn't cost any money to dream. And so it's free to have small dreams. And it's free to have big dreams. So why not dream big, right? Man, why not dream about living that debt-free life? You owe nobody, right? Every dollar that comes into your house is under your control because you don't owe anybody. If you dream it and you put the plan in place and you work, you can live a debt-free life. Maybe you have kids that you want to educate. You want to be able to send them to a great school, the school of their choice, right? You can do that. You got to believe it. You got to work for it, have a plan for it, but you can do it. Maybe you want to drive that dream car, right? You guys, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Or live in that dream house that you've always wanted to have. That's perfect for you and perfect for your family. Or you want to travel the world, see all the beautiful places in the world. Maybe you say, you know what? I want to retire early, right? I don't want to wait until I'm 65 or 67 to retire. I want to retire early. Or maybe you want to be a six-figure chick, right? Because you know you're good on your job. You know you're a hard worker. You know you deserve to get paid more than you're getting paid right now. You deserve to be a six-figure earner. You can do it, right? And whatever your dreams are, they may not even be represented on this page. I want you to know if you believe you can and you're willing to do the work, you can make your dreams come true, right? Now, you got to be practical. And so going back to the two things you've heard tonight, we can help you achieve your dreams. How? Number one, you need to get your financial GPS. Now, some of you on here may already have a financial plan. And if you do, congratulations. But I want to ask you, when's the last time you reviewed it? When's the last time you updated it? Or when's the last time you got a second opinion, right? You know, it's your money. And so you're not cheating on somebody. If you have somebody else that helps you with your life insurance or your investments, it's okay to talk to somebody else and say, hey, can you review my plan and see if you can make any suggestions, see if I can make any adjustments, tweak anything, improve anything, right, guys? And so if you have a plan, great, man, be willing to just take a look at it, get some fresh eyes on it and see if anything can be improved. We promise you, anything you're doing that's working for you, we're not going to recommend you change. But if you don't have a plan, a financial GPS, man, today is the day for you to make a decision that you will get your financial GPS, your financial game plan. That's going to show you how to get from where you are today to where you want to be in every area of your life related to money. And then secondly, how will you achieve your dreams? Man, bring in some additional income. Get your licenses. Our company is going to invest $1,200 in you for you to get those professional licenses. And guys, you'll never regret. When I joined this business, I had no idea it was going to become my career, right? I was an engineer, but I knew I would never regret getting the licenses, getting the financial education, being able to understand the stock market, understand investments, understand insurance, so I can make better decisions for my family, right? And so guys, two things you need to do that we recommend you consider doing rather in terms of achieving your dreams is get your financial GPS for the first time, you know, your financial game plan, or get a reassessment of the plan that you've been working, just see if you can improve anything. And man, for some of you guys, make a decision, you know what, I'm willing to try something new. You know, there's no big commitment required, and I can put in just a little bit of time, you know, as a silent partner, or I can have a big dream of making a career change. Those two things can help you make your dreams come true much faster. So a little bit more about me, because I want to let you guys know that you can change your life. And I'm going to talk about it from the perspective of how this business changed my life. So you already know, I thought education was the key to success in this country. That's what everybody I respected told me. And so I got that engineering degree, but you know what? I got my engineering degree on layaway. I know none of you guys have any student loans, right? But I had student loans, right? My parents raised 9 kids. They couldn't pay for us to go to college. So I graduated with student loans, went and got my first job in corporate America. It ended up being my last job in corporate America with a very large corporation, a great company, right? And man, I was willing to work hard. I was grinding 60 hours a week, going the extra mile, doing everything I could possibly do because I was hungry for success. But in return for those 60 hours a week I was putting in, what they were paying me was $30,000 a year. Now, this was a while ago, but I'm telling you, it's hard to have a great life on $30,000 a year, right? And then I didn't control my promotions. I was there for 2 years with no promotions, even though I was busting my butt, right? Income at the end of my first year, I got a little pay raise, an extra $3,000 a year, guys. You know, an extra $3,000 a year, that's just an extra $250 a month. How can you change your life with an extra $250 a month? You can't buy your dream house with an extra $250 a month. You can't buy your dream car with an extra $250 a month. You can barely go to your dream restaurant with an extra $250 a month, right? And so I was frustrated. I felt like I followed all the rules. I did everything they said I should do. And here I sit, and I don't feel like I'm progressing and I'm living the life or even getting to the life that I want to live, right? And so, guys, I made a decision. Somebody from this company came and met with my husband and I. We got our first financial plan started, and I just started to take a chance on myself and start this business. Not take a chance on Primerica, take a chance on Renee, right? Got my professional licenses, no intention of making this a career. Few years later, fast forward, had my first daughter, decided to be a stay-at-home mom, and I did this business part-time as a stay-at-home mom. And then my husband made a career change. He was going to go into the ministry. He had to go back to school. So it was time for me to go back to a full-time career, which I always intended to do. But I had to make a decision. Was I going to dust off that resume and go back out there and look for a job? Or this little business that I had just kind of been playing with on a part-time basis, could I turn it into a business that could support our family and give us the life of our dreams? And so, guys, I took a chance on Renee, right? And so today I have a business that I own. You know, I'm not trying to leave this earth anytime soon, but God forbid if something happened to me, I own a business that will pass on to my family, and the income that I earn will continue to be paid to my family. Most people that have professional certifications and licenses, like Stephanie said, you know, doctors and lawyers and real estate agents and people like that, if they die, their family can't continue to get paid from the fact that they used to be a doctor when they were alive. Their family can't continue to get paid off the fact that they were an attorney. But guys, here you can build a business that becomes a legacy for your family, a business that can pay your family even when you're not here anymore. Man, that got me excited. Guys, I used to make $30,000 a year. I now make more in a month than I used to make in a year. And I'm not telling you that to impress you with me. I just want to impress upon you that your dreams can come true. Right? I control my promotions. Within the next 6 months, I'll be promoted to the next senior leadership level with our company. I control the growth of my income by my willingness to invest time in mentoring and coaching our team. As the people on my team make more money, by definition, my business grows and I make more money. I love that model. And guys, I went from being frustrated and uncertain about the future to being totally excited about my future. I've been doing this as a career now for 27 years, and I'm more excited today about my business and about my future than I've ever been before, because it is unlimited. I want to let you know that your dreams can become a reality. And so this webinar has been for women who win. Women who win. Everybody on here, that's who you are. Women who win know what they want. They're not afraid to speak what they want. They're not afraid to set goals to get what they want, right? They're not going to trade off what they want in life and what they feel God has destined for them and the purpose they feel that God placed them on this earth for. They're not going to trade that off for anything or anybody, right? They know what they want. And guess what? They don't stop until they get it. Man, I just declare over all of you awesome women tonight that you are a woman who wins and you're going to get the life of your dreams. So what's your next step? Well, you have 3 paths you can choose from. Path 1, if you don't have an up-to-date financial GPS or a financial GPS at all, man, you want to get with the person that invited you to this webinar. I mean, immediately, like literally on your cell phone, as soon as this webinar is over, they'll be reaching out to you. You reach out to them and you schedule a time to get with them as soon as possible to get your financial GPS or update your financial GPS. Or path 2, get your financial GPS and come on board so you can earn some part-time income, only work when you want to work, right? No quotas, no stress, but always know that you'll never be at the mercy of a job again, right? That if anything ever happens to your income, when there's a gap, that you have a way to make sure you can bring income into your family, maintain your family's quality of life, no matter what might or might not happen on a job. Or path number 3, the financial GPS, and a decision to say, you know what, I might start part-time, but I'm totally open to making a career change. That was me because I hated my job, right? I didn't know if I could do this, but I definitely knew if I could do it and I could get good at it, that I was willing to make a career change. So choose a path. Path 1, path 2, or path 3. Reach out to the person that invited you. They thought enough of you to invite you onto this webinar and let them know which path you want to take. So on behalf of myself, and Jennifer and Stephanie and the people that invited you onto this webinar and the Millionaire Movement team, we want to thank you for your attendance. You truly are a woman who wins. But guys, information alone doesn't change anybody's life. It's only when you implement the information that your life changes. So information without implementation will not change your life. You've got some great information tonight, education, empowerment, and encouragement to excel at a whole new level in your life. Reach out to the person that invited you and let them know you're ready to get started on a path 1, 2, or 3 to change your life. Guys, this is my final message. This year is almost over. I know we feel like it was just January 1st, we were saying Happy New Year, but it is already October 5th, right? And so we have less than 2 months left in this year. And I just want to challenge you. If you know you're not on track to hit the goals that you set for the year, if you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting what you've been getting. You need to do something different. You need to do it now. And you can set yourself up by the time 2021 starts, that you're on the path of making your dreams become a reality. You guys, I want to encourage you, stay safe, right? Be blessed. And one last thing, this is a public service announcement. If you live in the state of Georgia and you voted absentee, go check to make sure that your vote counted, right? If there was any kind of a deficiency, they have to post it, and you have until 5 o'clock tomorrow to go fix that ballot if it needs to be fixed, to make sure your vote counts. I don't know what the rules are in other states. I know that's the rule in Georgia. Whatever your vote was, whoever you voted for, you make sure your vote counts. It's your vote, it's your voice. Guys, I'm so glad you joined us tonight. I hope you're glad you joined us tonight. You guys go live a fruitful, prosperous life. Go get the life that God created you to have, because you deserve it. Thanks, everybody. Y'all have a great night.
I received that.
I receive it. Thank you.
All right, you guys give it up for
Thank you, guys.
Great information. Good.
Great
Thank you.
job.
Thank you.
Awesome and outstanding.
All right.
Wonderful women.
Yes. All right, guys, let's go get it.
That's right.
We are women who win. Absolutely.